This is BBC London 94.9. Danny Baker's Breakfast Show. Weekday mornings from 6.
This is the BBC third programme. How to listen, including how not to, how you ought to, and how you won't.
Here we go again with another 3 hours of fun for old and young without the slightest hint of erotica, which is beginning the show with a lie, because Kathy, you're the producer on the show. We've got no Pippa this morning and no Amy, so it's Mark. You've got to put an anchor around the legs there and stay there and help us guide us through it. So here's the thing, we may have a hint of erotica on the show, which is not something we usually do, and I don't realise the show is broadcast between 6 and 9 o'clock. But in response to, I think it was on Friday or Saturday when we were asking the comforting world of wardrobes, and children like to get in wardrobes, and even adults like to get in wardrobes, and we had one or two people on Saturday emailing saying, yeah, the wardrobe, and, you know, this fellow who still gets in the wardrobe and that. And then the woman emailed and said, I had my first ever sexual experience in a wardrobe. That's all she left it at. Mm-hmm. Thought that's very good. Yeah. And so I said, on Monday, we may make a list of the most surprising places for sexual congress. Now, we don't want stories. We don't want people to ring us up. We just want to make a list. So it'll be like a wardrobe, on a boat, on a golf course. The rest you can write yourself, because we are not sticky-lipped here. We are not prurient. No. We just want to build a list of them. We may do that. We may ask people just to drop us off on email, margaret.rutherford@bbc.co.uk, on a chip shop counter. You see, and then we can just read the list out, and the rest of it writes itself. So better. Cap, you ain't entering this already, are you?
No, certainly not. I'm just trying to explain that's going to be quite disturbing for me, because I read those emails during the show.
Yes, but all the people are going to do is give off the bald facts. If somebody rings in and says, on a mountaintop peak in the Snowdonia, that's all we need to know.
Okay.
Don't need to know any other details, but apart from the surprising location of the sexual congress, because a wardrobe is already on the list.
All right.
But, you know, so last thing we need, for the love of God, is somebody coming through saying what happened, right, was, and I don't want any of that. Just want the place.
Ew.
Jamie and Stepney. Jamie?
How you doing, Dan?
Good as gold, Jamie. Now, Jamie, this is your true accent, I take it, I'm hearing now, but in the past?
Yeah, Dan, I had to put on a moody American accent to get myself out of trouble.
What did you do?
What happened was, then, this was about 10 years ago.
See, I can do a pretty good one, but I don't think you can. Go on, Jamie.
No, well, this is how it happened, Dan.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago, me and my mate was out in America. We was in San Francisco, and we was working out there, and we shouldn't have been. You know, you got to have
I see, of course, yeah.
The green card,
yeah, I know, yeah, but... And?
Well, anyway, we're up on the roof.
Yeah.
And we're
you were roofing out there, were you?
Yeah,
it is. How are you to say? The previous caller wants your autograph. And what happened?
Yeah. So we're up there. All of a sudden, then, it was a quiet street, and a cop was walking along. You know, in all that black, sinister gear.
Yeah, very impressive.
Gun in the holster, all that.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, I suppose he's bored. He's engaged me in conversation.
All right, okay.
Now, if I answer normal, then he's going to know I'm a foreigner, and it could be, come down, where's your green card, all this.
Okay, so we've set the scene here. Now, I'll be the copper, and you do what you did. What did he say to you? First off, what did the copper say?
Well, he started off then, it was a right hot day.
Okay, so he says, so you be you, and I'll be the policeman. Now, you're a roofer, you're from Stepney, you're in San Francisco working illegally, and the copper comes along and says, I mean, forgive my accent here, but he says, how you doing, buddy? Could it be any hotter? And you said?
I went to him, yeah, it's a hot one. Dead. And that's how it went.
And then...
And that's how it was going, Dan, and it went on for a little while. But the real thing to it, Dan, was this. He's gone to me, hey, he said, I know that accent. I thought, oh no, he's sassed me.
Stepney. Yeah. So, and?
So, I've then gone, oh yeah? Then, as he was about to answer me, this truck come rumbling past. It had all this clattering gear on it.
At least you called it a truck, not a lorry, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a truck, it's out in America, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, he said it then, and I didn't hear what he said. I'd have given anything to know where he reckoned I came from.
Oh, I see.
Oh, and I didn't hear him. And I just went to him, Yeah.
I know what he said. He said, buddy, you're from the Isle of Dogs, aren't you? Right, I want you to say the following phrase in your best American accent, right?
Go on.
You've got, when I say now, you've got to say, New York, 1940. Boy, those were the days, all right? New York, when I say now, you've got to say, New York, 1940. Boy, those were the days. Okay, so, hang on.
Right.
Now.
New York. Boy, 1940. Those were the days.
Yeah, you see there via Stepney. Nice, Stepney.
It sounded slightly more like Terry Christian at the end.
It's like a joke on it a bit, but nevertheless, yeah, it's a hot one, ain't it? That's what it is. Thank you very much indeed, Jamie, our American friend from Stepney. If it doesn't have to be an American accent, of course it can be. Any accent you've affected to try and make yourself seem more interesting or to get out of something, 0207 224 2000. So I get in the other Friday and my agent has emailed us saying... McDonald's are after they're doing a football campaign, the World Cup, need you for voiceover. Any problems with McDonald's? I've got no problems with McDonald's. I don't eat the McDonald's. There you go. So I wrote back, said, no, just tell them the appointment at microphone. Been Wednesday next week. Good TV ad as well. So they, you know, it come to $8-9 grand. Time the thing whacked. Oh, there we go. That's lovely. Lovely. Book another hotel room. And so it went away. And I thought, where's that gone? So in the middle of the week, and it's only at the end of the week, I figured out. So I rang back. I said, what happened to that McDonald's thing? I thought that was a definite. He went, yeah, were you on the radio show the other week saying about people in Argos? I said, yeah, the people in Argos. I was just saying, you know, you go in there and you've got the dregs of the earth queuing up. I said, and if I wanted the dregs, I'd queue up in McDonald's. Yeah, that's what they heard. Oh, it was that $9 grand ad lib. Yes, if I wanted that, I could queue up in McDonald's.
So you've lost the job.
Well, it could be a news story, you know. Man currently promoting McDonald's calls customers dregs. That was pointed out to me as quickly as they could. And today we want to do potty people who run shops. Possibly, again, when you were growing up, there's always creepy people who ran local shops. And I don't know, maybe I'll do that in a second, but there's the fishing tackle shop that used to be in Raymouth Road in South East London. The fellow ran it, and he was an Alf Hippie-Titimus type. He had the hey. He would go like it was, I know, but you don't actually see people like that. I mean,
no, you don't. No.
But Alf was, of course, based at the time, and it was perfectly reasonable for Alf Hippie-Titimus, as forever played by Jack Douglas, to give the hey.
Did he have the arm movement?
Did he have the arm movement? So you go into, and this is a fishing tackle shop, and you'd go in there and ask for half a pint of maggots. And I've noticed it seems too good to be true, but somebody will ring us up for the end of the show and verify this, and you get half the pint of maggots, go, where are you going, Dad? Okay, brilliant, and off they'd go. Off they'd go. And you go, oh, and I swear you see people entering that shops with their umbrellas up, and you knew he was behind the counter. He was an old boy, and he'd go, where are you going, Alton Kirby? I'll tell you what I called, yeah, and off they'd go. Half a pint of maggots in his hand, and off they'd go. And he was a real-life Alf Hippie-Titimus. As we know, Alf Hippie-Titimus spelt his name with hip, a pip and two titimuses, he used to say, which never made sense, but he always got the laugh. But yeah, in Raymouth Road, if anyone knows that part of South East London, used to be a fishing tackle shop with a peculiar fellow behind the counter who, you know, maybe he affected it, maybe he just did that to throw maggots at people. But if he had
maybe just a big fan of Jack Douglas.
And if he said, well, could you, everyone called him Alf at the time, but could you put because I could never, you know, so you get a number 9 hook, and could you put that on the thing for us? And he'd be doing, and he would hook himself and go, oh, well, there you go. And it was an absolute, I mean, it was an absolute one-man show. At Edinburgh, he would have took the Perrier Wall with that. And he ran the fishing tackle shop in Raymouth Road, South East London. So we may do potty people. See, he wasn't potty, maybe but that's kind of the generic phrase we
colourful
that comes in. No, potty. Potty people who run shops. But again, you think I'm embroidering that story. Anyone who remembers the Raymouth Road fishing tackle shop and the fellow who worked in there, very perfectly nice fellow, you see him in the pub in the evening, they have the same problem with a pint of beer.
Crisps.
The crisps. It's raining crisps, hallelujah. It was extraordinary, though. I mean, I know there maybe is some condition. I've never ever seen anyone in my life who shares that condition, except Alf Hippie-Titimus.
Yeah, except for Jack Douglas.
For us, if you grew up in South East London, Alf Hippie-Titimus was a dramatic character. It was drawn from life. You could see,
I bet it pretty probably was. It almost certainly...
Well, Jack Douglas gone, you'd know that, Graham. Jack Douglas still alive? He's probably going into dramatic parts now, like they all do. Jack's still alive. Well, we could have to get Jack on the phone to ask him from where he drew Alf. Where did he draw Alf from? Because nobody talks about Alf anymore because they're worried that, 6 people in the Hebrides have that thing, so we mustn't. But he was a tremendous, what an iron horse of British show business, Alf Ipititimus was.
Because he always was. I mean, even when he turned up in Carry On films, he was still.
He would always do it, even if the character didn't call for it. You could tell halfway through he'd forget a bit of dialogue and just go, "Way." It was the little tiny ones that were so funny when you do the little tiny controlled ones. You don't want to go down there this morning. I'll tell you what they'll tell you what they're doing, and just a little one with the knee up and the shoulder. And then he'd go, the bigger ones, he'd go, "You don't want to go down this morning." He'd go, "Pay!" And then he'd look around and he'd go, "Did somebody come in?" Pay! Alf Hippy-Titter's morning. It's Alf Hippy-Titter's morning here on BBC London. So London's most eccentric shop owners, who probably have all gone there, the most eccentric shops, ever got in anywhere for nothing? And did you ever see a teacher out of school in surprising circumstances, or once you left school, ran into them again? Because your story of meeting...
There's an old college lecturer.
Who was, when you saw him again?
The fish man in the pub who was selling crab sticks.
He was selling crab sticks. A college lecturer was later selling crab sticks. That's top of the shop so far, unless you know what happened to teachers once you left. You ran into them again and they'd lost their power over you. 0207 224 2000, and I believe...
They never quite do that. I don't know.
No, they don't.
I bumped into a teacher I played cricket with. It must have been 8 or 9 years after I left school. And we're in the pub afterwards with other people that I'd been in school with. And I was like, "Yeah, Dave, Richard, yeah, John, what do you want? Mr. Marsden?" And it couldn't. It just was in there. And of course, everyone's going, "Oh, Mr. Marsden."
Well,
I couldn't quite get myself to do it.
To one of the interviews for a secondary school, and the headmaster turned out to be my old German teacher, and I called him sir. Couldn't think what else. I knew his name. I knew his name was Ronald. Oh, sir. 36. Hello, sir. Sounded like two Regency gentlemen meeting. "And you, sir? How are you, sir?" "Fine, sir." "Very good, sir." My daughter was looking at me. Look, people, sir.
You can bite your thumb at me, sir.
No, exactly. "Hello, sir." "Hello, sir. Good morning to you, sir." And he looked embarrassed and pleased. But I couldn't call him Ronald. No. You can't call him Mr. Dunn. Oh, anyway, that's who he was. He was headmaster at another school. It was a very awkward meeting, and she didn't go to that school for that very reason. I said, I cannot have years of awkward relationships at open days stretching out in front of you. It's bad enough anyway now when I go to open days at the kids' school, because they know us from grinning off the back of London buses like Fozzie Bear as I am at the moment, and the Daz and the Gazza stuff, and I'm twice as old as they are, and wearing blue suede shoes, and it's very difficult to do interviews with teachers. Anyway, Mr. Baker, call me Dan. Anyway, I mustn't get bogged down in the minute treacheries of being a showbiz dad. Hats off and good morning, everybody. Everything's for the best in this best of all possible worlds. If you can think of a way, and I'm absolutely throwing myself on the floor here and begging people, if you can think of a way that we can successfully carry this show out while the England game's on
please send us your suggestions.
I cannot think of a way.
Do you want to come and present it yourself?
Paul, one of the people who runs the station on Saturday, he produces the Saturday show, he's saying no, because I think it's funny. I said no.
The least funny thing about it is that I've got my back to the TV.
You've got your back to the TV.
That's not funny at all.
You can see it reflected in my glasses, just about. But I said, no, there's no spin, there's no ironic take, no postmodern, haha, and how about we do that? No, people are going to be watching the England game. We may as well roll up a newspaper and speak out of the window. Nobody's going to be there. And the thing is, what am I going to be doing? Amy's going to be over there saying, a couple of stories here on the internet, I know, and I'm going to be going, oh, yeah. David Quoy, you can have half an hour. Where you go. Actually, David's before the game. But if you can give us something we can do that may claw in listeners into double figures on Wednesday. We'll try and get... In fact, that's the first phone.
That's our first list.
If we get 10 people.
Get 10 people to call.
Yeah, but when they call... See, the thing is, it doesn't work even like that, because they'll call and they say, I'm listening, but I won't be. Have they gone? Sorry. Yeah, so we don't know what we're going to do on Wednesday, but we're on the air. We're on the air on Wednesday, like the Omega Man.
There are more people out there that don't like football than you think.
Yeah, but I do.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Get Anna Rayburn in. Get Anna Rayburn to sit here and show, I know, it's terrible, isn't it? Well, we aren't even watching it. We're watching Rise on Channel. I won't be doing that. So there's going to be tremendous gaps in the audience. Here's Lucy in Charlton, or perhaps Dunmow. Lucy.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Lucy. Thank you for hanging on. What have you got for us, my friend?
An electricity story.
Yeah.
When I was small, must have been no more than about 3 and a half.
Yep.
So I needed to know what electricity tasted like.
Oh, my good Lord. Well, thanks for your call, Luce. I think the rest writes itself. How did it work? Go on.
My mum obviously let me run a bit wild.
Yeah.
She let me play with coat hangers.
Uh-huh.
And if you remember, when you used to get stuff from the dry cleaners, metal coat hanger.
You still do, yeah.
Yep. Well, if you squeeze the corner... If you squeeze the one of the pointy corners.
Oh, I know.
Just the right size.
And
in a plug socket.
You stuck it in a plug socket?
Yes.
And what happened?
Well, what you have to do first is put the hooked pointed end in your mouth.
Oh,
you need
Am I speaking to you through a Ouija board? How on earth are you still here? I mean...
Well, it sort of blows you back a bit.
Yeah.
But not far enough to do you too much damage, because obviously you're not going to smack a wall and die, because you've got a coat hanger attached.
That noise is not your radio. It's not some... that's Lucy.
It might be the TV.
No, that's you. That's you, Luce. Put your... That's Lucy. Look, Luce, walk away from the phone. Walk away from the phone.
Right.
Now, Lucy, come back here again. Lucy, no, we don't get the sound effect right. Let's do this again. Lucy, what physical damage did you suffer?
A hole in the roof of my mouth.
Oh! Seared there by electricity?
Yep. Well, I think the jolt from being blown backwards with a coat hanger in your mouth actually was the injury, as opposed to the electricity.
And you got sprung backwards, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, I love calls like this when I've got a sound effects in. So you had a coat hanger as the conduit between you and the actual mains, the
main socket on the floor in
frame.
the kitchen.
Wow. Well, I've never heard anything more dangerous than that, and I've done some phone-ins. How long did it take you to get over that?
I don't know. I remember crying. I was very small. I remember crying.
Yeah.
And I remember my mum laughing.
Oh, no. Well,
laughing out of fear and concern.
One second.
No, I think the other people in the house were concerned. I think my mum laughed.
Well, that's the most extraordinarily reckless thing I've ever heard of, and I've done these phone-ins before. Lucy, just walk away from the phone again. Right, so okay, now. Here's Lucy walking away from the phone. And now come back again, Luce. I knew it'd only take about 3 or 4 times before I got that. Thank you very much, Lucy. The last call this morning be Ken in Uxbridge. Ken.
Morning, ahoy, Danny.
Ahoy, Ken. Ken, what can I do on Wednesday?
Well, here's the way that I think most of the listeners are going to think about it. You talk to us about 7 grand gigs for McDonald's. You talk about walking around record shops all day and leaving work at 9 o'clock. Yeah. From the listeners to you, Dan, tough luck, sucker. Better luck next time.
Oh, no. Hey, where is my petard? I just want to get hoisted by it. Oh, man, thank you very much. I didn't know. You see how I took that on the chin like Mike Tyson? Yeah. Ken, that's fair to do. However, it doesn't help us, because the fact is, if I'll get Ken to do the show, ring him back on Wednesday, we'll give him 10 minutes to fill in. Tough luck, Zuckers, better luck next time. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 1 minute to do this, and we can do it. This is the final list for the strangest places sexual congresses ever took place, most surprising, according to our listenership. I don't know what it is. Anyway, let's go through it. 2 different wardrobes, a dentist chair, the foyer of the Grosvenor House Hotel, the 14th Green, in front of the floodlights and St Paul's Cathedral, on a train between Charing Cross and Waterloo East, Salisbury Cathedral, Selfridge's menswear department, that's better. Thank you very much indeed. The Cricket Green, in a wheelbarrow, in the battlements of Lewis Castle, Whitehall over the War Office, in hospital, on the top of a houseboat, a greenhouse, while parachuting, in the staff lift at Barclays Bank, Clacton Pier, on the M4, Brent Cross Marks and Spencer's changing rooms, Worcester City Football Club, Romford Football Club, where am I? Oh, the back of a boss's Rolls Royce, on the snooker table at Wandsworth Fire Station, in a field of sheep in a thunderstorm, in a tank, in a car on a ferry on the road to Ireland, Eiffel Tower toilets, in an earth mover, in the shovel when it was parked, in the Toronto Zoo, in a DJ booth in a Spanish nightclub, on the Woolwich Ferry, Liverpool Street Station concourse, Edmund Street Police Station trying out room in the basement, Cheltenham Athletic dugout, the pitch and putt in Newquay, the Pizza Hut on a preparation table, the county courtroom, Buckingham Palace toilets, at the top of Uxbridge dry ski slope, a butcher shop, in the TV lounge at St Mary's Bay Holiday Camp, and in a chaise lounge on a new show home. That has been the BBC Breakfast Show this morning. Apologies to the following John Galt for overrunning there, but it was worth it for the most surprising list of sexual congress. See you tomorrow.
On 94.9 FM, your commercial-free, crackle-free football station.
Full match commentary from BBC London.
If it involves a London side, we'll be there.
Just before we go over to the sport, and we're going to hang on every word, of course, and apologise, but otherwise I'll forget to do this. Tomorrow we will be doing teachers who lost their dignity in front of classes. You may know a teacher on sports day. In any circumstance, you saw a teacher lose their dignity. And I promised, I swore, someone who may or may not be related to me, that I wouldn't relay this story. It only happened a couple of weeks ago at a church service at the school. The church is packed with schoolboys, you know, at the end of term, the leaving kind of thing. And up got the Right Honourable Bishop of somewhere, who then, you know, tried to open with a few gags for the kids and started by saying some, in front of the class, school rather, and he said, and apparently this fellow was advanced years, and he was up there and he said, you know, the thing is, it's very easy to look at someone like me and think, I'm just some batty man who's got up here. Well, of course, listen, right, and they all went, and he went, the thing is, I am a batty man. I think to be in teaching, you've got to be a batty man. And the poor kids, and the kids were like, ah! And he did, yeah. And after being marched out by they couldn't hold it in here. You might think I'm just some batty man who got up here. So tomorrow we will be doing. Goodness. And the thing is, and he said, no, don't say that on the radio, Dad. Don't say that on the radio.
They wonder why the Church of England has such a bad reputation.
I'm just some batty man who's got up here. Yes, and then I am a batty man. I think you have to be a batty man to go into teaching. And the other teacher's going, no.
Enough with the batting man stuff.
Say crazy. Yeah, that's just a fortnight ago in Lewisham. The other one I was going to go with, and I don't know if anyone's gone down this route, because it is a magnificent song, is Gilbert O'Sullivan's Alone Again Naturally, which is that's the opposite of that. The saddest song ever written, Alone Again Naturally, by Gilbert O'Sullivan. One of the most beautiful songs ever written. One of the most forgotten geniuses is Gilbert O'Sullivan. We must get him in. Claire, of course. Everyone can go nuts for Claire. That's a fantastic song. But Alone Again Naturally, actually, every time you say it, it makes me go. Has there ever been lyrics in a song? I'm only made one of contested. I don't think there's ever been a sadder lyric than, apart from him being stood up, you know. Yeah. In a little while from now, if I'm not feeling any less sour, I've promised myself to treat myself and visit a nearby tower, and climbing to the top will throw myself off in an effort to make clear to whoever what it's like when you're shattered, left standing in the lurch at a church where people are staying. My God, that's tough. She stood him up. There's no point in us remaining. And then we all went home, as I did on my own. Alone again, naturally. And looking back over the years, whatever else that appears, I remember how I cried when my father died, never wishing to hide the tears. And at 65 years old, my mother, God rest her soul, couldn't understand why the only man she had ever loved had been taken, leaving her to start with a heart so badly broken. Despite encouragement from me, no words were ever spoken. And when she passed away, I cried and cried all day, alone again, naturally. Oh, welcome to another day, everyone.
I can't take it no more.
No, I just start with a heart so bad when she said, and you know, she couldn't understand why the only man she had ever loved had been taken. Oh,
makes it worse. He does it with that kind of almost happy piano.
It's kind of,
it's kind of lift to it, isn't
we've
it?
got to carry, we must press on kind of piano going to it. Yeah. Alone Again Naturally is just and it's such a beautiful song anyway.
It's not written in the minor key, it's not like one of those...
Isn't it? I wouldn't know.
It sounds like kind of quite major, doesn't it?
That's how it starts. Yeah. In a little while from now, if I'm not feeling any less... I might have to have that. You see, but you don't get that sort of... I mean, you may say mercifully you don't get that sort of comedy, but throughout, when I used to watch the London Palladium and stuff in the 60s, there was either the prop comedians or the comedians whose entire acts would be that kind of... Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've ever seen people waiting for a bus. They do it in very different ways, don't they? Yeah. For instance, I think I saw Frankie Vaughan waiting for a bus the other day, and they would do the hat and kick their leg up, and they would go, hey, very good act.
Well, the classic example is Eddie Large's act for, like, the last 30 years has been celebrities' cars starting. Have you ever seen that?
That's right, yeah.
No, seriously, he's done this.
Let me guess. Bruce Forsyth goes.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
That's a drop.
Yeah, he's like...
It's a solid gold bit.
Yeah.
It's a solid
He's
gold
been doing it for 30 years. But the thing is, though, that, like, despite... because, you know, obviously I grew up on that whole Seaside Special, that whole thing. And then when I realised there's this kind of other world out there, and I went, oh, actually, it doesn't have to be rubbish. And, you know, slowly, bit by bit, that I realised...
You thought rubbish was a prerequisite of the shtick.
Yeah, but I'm kind of slightly obsessed by all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I say, I've tremendous... I mean, of course, you can take the hi-hat to it and think, oh, well, you know, they knew no better. But it was a solid... The worst thing about it is, for, I suppose, for comedians and even yourself, you used to be able to do the same act for 20-odd years, and that's what all people wanted. Or do the bit about, you know, how cars start up again.